Here at Woodscape Apartments, we found a woman who is still sleeping on her wet couch. A mother who had to return to work instead of cleaning her apartment because she had to pay the bills. But no story touched us more like the one of the Duarte family. But I'm not going to tell you their story. I'll let them tell you. They only speak Spanish, but my voice will translate. This is our apartment, where we live. This room was our kids, and it's all wet now. Look at all the water that's still left behind. This over here is mold from the humidity. You can touch the clothes, they're still wet. All my kids say is, "Mommy, can I take my stuff back home?" And they ask me, "When are we going to get new clothes, Mommy?" And I tell them, "No, it's not going to be new clothes. They're going to have to be used." And they say, "It doesn't matter, Mom. Anything works." I had prepared myself with religious candles to wait for the hurricane right here. But then I had to evacuate. Okay. Now let's go look at the room that the apartment complex said we can move into. But today we were checking it out and it's not in the best conditions. Look, the conditions here are worse than the ones we're living in. No, we're not going to get it. We're going to have to look for another place. Over here are the things we've already thrown away. These clothes were my babies. Look, they're shorts from when they were little. I was trying to take care of them, but as you can see, they're now all wet. What are you guys going to do now? Well, look for another apartment where to live and work to recover everything we've lost. Standing for Houston, I'm Sonia Gutierrez with KHOU. You know, it is incredible how one small group of people can get together and do something great for others. In this case, the people from the Cafecito were able to raise all kinds of donations. There was one problem. They needed a way to get it to the island. So they asked us, KHOU, to figure that out for them, and we did. We ended up finding a shipping container that would be able to take all of their donations to the island. Donations like these. How many of you, raise your hand, have family in Puerto Rico right now? It all started with a cup of coffee, a group of complete strangers, and one story in common.
My cousin, half of his house was made of zinc and wood. All that part just collapsed, and he passed the hurricane basically just holding a window, aluminum window, to make sure that it didn't blow up by the wind pressure, so he can protect his family.
They knew exactly what Puerto Rico needed because their families are there, so they raised it. Over 1,800 pounds of donations. They just needed a way to get it there, so they asked us to help, and we found this. A warehouse already collecting supplies for Puerto Rico, willing to ship their donations too.
So we've committed to sending about 4 or 5 huge shipping containers.
Deborah Stevenson with the shipping company, the American Textile Recycling Services, started getting bombarded with calls not only from the group themselves, but from people who had heard about the warehouse through them.
So we've been gathering
Luis was one of them.
Water, Pampers, first aid kits. We finally found what we were looking for. Their purpose is to get that help to those towns that really need it.
But this doesn't end here.
Put them in a container and ship them out.
Albert Lariu is taking the trip with the donations to make sure that they reach rural areas in the island that were hit the hardest. He says he's now working with the sponsors to keep these shipments going. Here's the best part. You can join the movement too. If you have any donations that you wish to send to the island, the company is willing to ship it for you too. All of those details are on our website, khou.com. For now, standing for Houston, I'm Sonia Gutierrez with KHOU 11 News.
And today, an elderly man from Puerto Rico is with his family in Tampa after being separated because of that storm. 2 Richland deputies helped make that happen with a video that went viral. News 19's Sonia Gutierrez sat down with Captain David Soto and Corporal Raul Ortiz to tell us their incredible story.
I'm over here in Columbia, South Carolina, with Luis Manuel Lopez Mercado. We're trying to get a hold of his family.
A family who had a very tough decision to make.
He's here alone. He's admitted to the hospital.
Luis Mercado was put on a plane by himself with the help from FEMA to get him the medical care he needed. The medical care that was no longer available in Puerto Rico because of Hurricane Maria. Luis doesn't speak any English, and when he got here, all he wanted was to be close to his family. So Corporal Raul Ortiz and Captain David Soto took it upon themselves to make this video.
If anybody knows him, please inbox me.
And the response was overwhelming.
We got people from Hawaii, Alaska, Canada, Connecticut. I mean, it was astonishing the amount of people that were calling us.
It reached over 700,000 people. One of them was his granddaughter from Tampa, Florida.
His whole demeanor changed. You know, he was
Kind of actually speeded up his recovery.
Yeah, it should.
FEMA coordinated his move to Florida, and Luis, Don Luis, let's just say, is grateful beyond words can explain or translate. I never thought I would find people with such good intentions, he said. I'm filled with emotions, and I even cry at the thought that they never left me by myself.
In reality, no, I don't think I looked at the impact of how we were helping him until yesterday.
Hello. Don Luis, ¿cómo está?
It was a call like this one, from Luis to Ortiz and Soto, that made him realize how much of an impact they had really made on Luis's life.
It got a little emotional.
Reporting in Colombia, I'm Sonia Gutierrez, News 19 WLTX.
Well, Mr. Luis says that once his island is back on its feet, he would love for the two deputies to visit his home in Puerto Rico, and both deputies say they would love to do just that.
After Hurricane Maria hit, but there are signs that relief efforts in Puerto Rico are picking up. It's a story that's really impacting Houstonians from Puerto Rico. Our Sonia Gutierrez is live in Montrose with a group of them this morning. And Sonia, this had to be hard for them, feeling so far away.
Oh, the stories that we've heard so far are incredible. Just imagine having your loved ones in an island that you know devastation hits and you can't get in touch with them. Those are the situations, those are the stories that we're hearing right here, right now. We're at Campesino Coffee House with plenty of people here who care about the island, have family in the island, and we're all having conversations about what is happening there. So that's happening live right now. Come on over, join the conversation. But for now, this is what's happening in Puerto Rico. A three-star Army general is spending his first full day in Puerto Rico, sent to support the hurricane response. Lieutenant General Jeff Buchanan will help coordinate the more than 7,000 troops and 10,000 government workers.
The relief effort is under control. It is proceeding very well.
Acting Homeland Security Secretary Elaine Duke is among those in the Trump administration who is praising the government's response, as is President himself via Twitter, saying in part FEMA and first responders are amazing. Residents of the island, though, say that it's been more than a week since Hurricane Maria hit. Help is scarce and disorganized. Government officials in D.C. say the problem isn't getting supplies to the island anymore. It's getting them from the ports to the people. Clearing roads is one issue.
There's still a shortfall there, though, and that is drivers for all those trucks.
To help support with medical needs, the Navy's hospital ship, the USNS Comfort, leaves from Virginia this afternoon on a 5-day journey to Puerto Rico. And you know, the most important thing is that we continue these conversations so that the resources continue reaching those in Puerto Rico. We are continuing that conversation here on Facebook, so join us there. I'm about to go live here in a few more minutes. Please comment, please share your stories, please share your resources there so that everyone can see them. If you're hosting a drive, anything like that, post it there so that people can connect to other people and make sure that they can get in touch with their families, or at least do what we can from right here. How many of you, raise your hand, have family in Puerto Rico right now? How many of you have gotten a hold of them?
My cousin, half of his house was made of zinc and wood. All that part just collapsed, and he passed the hurricane basically just holding a window, aluminum window, to make sure that it didn't blow up by the wind pressure, so he can protect his family.
I spoke to my dad on Sunday. My mom 2 days ago, same with my boyfriend. So I was without communication for about 5 to 6 days.
The major problem is about communication, is what Ana Rivera is saying. How did you guys get in touch with your family? For those watching that haven't been able to get in touch with theirs.
Wow. So my mom was trying to find a warm meal after a few days of eating, you know, from cans. And she found a hamburger stand 2 towns away. and the stand owner lended her the cell phone, so that's how I was able to talk to her.
It's great to be with other Boricuas, you know, feel I'm not alone here, and hear other people that are finally making contact with their families, so it gives me hope that I'll be able to, you know, communicate with them more often than just once a week.
We love to help, that we just give ourselves everything. Now it's a time for Puerto Rico to receive that back.